Repairs to electricity infrastructure are now expected to get underway in Mpophomeni in KwaZulu-Natal's Midlands after protesters blocked roads there and refused municipal officials access to the community where they were fixing the infrastructure, or were going to at least fix it. The local DA mayor claims that the protests were politically motivated. Newzroom Afrika's Karinda Jagmohan has more on the story. Karinda, what are residents telling you this afternoon?
Indeed, we have been at the Mpophomeni township area, rather what they call the Korea township, where the electricity outage occurred. And we spoke to the local councillor, who is the ANC councillor in the area, and he denied these allegations that the protests were orchestrated by the ANC. He said simply that these were members of the ANC that are also residents that were protesting here at the entrance to the Mpophomeni town. Now, my colleague Pilani Zuma just showing you the aftermath of this protest. After a meeting today, or a community engagement, it was then confirmed by residents that they would allow the city or the municipal officials to go through and fix the electricity infrastructure. We asked the community about the allegations that this was a protest that was encouraged politically. Those who were living inside the area where the outages occurred also deny these allegations. But some of the residents that we spoke to, who are, living more towards the area where there's a mall, and you can even see police still there, said that they do believe there has been a battle because of the fact that this municipality is now run by the DA. They have seen some instances where development could not actually go through because they felt that their own ANC ward councillor was sort of encouraging these protests. So some residents, and also these residents, were also too afraid to actually even speak to the media. So you can see some instances of residents being afraid, and ultimately how this kind of political battle is impacting people on the ground. So we have been speaking to various residents. We've spoken to the ANC councillor, and then of course at 3 o'clock I understand there will be an interview with the mayor of this area, Christopher Pappas. But ultimately what we see on the ground now is that for at least 4 days, these residents have not had electricity because just of not being able, the municipal officials not being able to go through into this area to attend to the crisis because of the community protests, which were over the electricity outages. So it is their protests rather over electricity outages were ultimately what was even hampering the solution in the first place. Now residents have agreed, though, to let municipal officials through, and that's why there's still a police presence just to ensure that those municipal officials that are fixing the relative electricity infrastructure can go in safely. So, of course, we will give you some voices from the community members who spoke to us, but in the meantime, though, residents are hoping that in some case they will see the electricity returned by this evening.
Karinda, I may have missed this in your earlier response. If I did, pardon me. But is there any indication that there could be a resurgence in these demonstrations? Roads are now clear, but could there be a repeat?
Indeed, the municipality is worried that there could be a repeat or a resurgence of protests, and that is why there is an armoured police vehicle just close to me. My colleague Pilani Zuma can actually show you that there are 2 armoured police vehicles in the specific community, and actually the local mall here, which is one of the larger malls for the Mpophomeni area, was closed for a better part of this morning just until they could secure this area. We also got information that this Mpophomeni area is one of the more populated regions or areas of the Mgeni municipality, local municipality. And then we also heard that a majority of those who live here are unemployed, and so issues with poverty are quite high in this area. So another aspect that the municipality has been trying to implement is the provision of free electricity for indigent households, for those who cannot afford to buy their own electricity. But of course these instances of development are now being hampered when we see the protests that have been occurring. Another police van as well is going into the community. And just near this garage as well, we saw there were police vehicles and private security vehicles. Essentially, what we can tell about the situation on the ground is that there seems to be, or there was essentially some blockade of allowing municipal officials to come through and fix infrastructure, and that is where the allegations of political interference are stemming from. So we're going to see at 3 o'clock we'll have a chat with the mayor about what he has been experiencing on his end. From the community side, residents were specifically unhappy that there was no proper communication about how the municipality will fix some of the electricity issues that they experience in this area. So a matter of communication between residents and the municipality, and then of course allegations that the ANC is interfering in now this DA-run municipality, something the ANC denies, but of course we will hear more from the municipality itself about what the situation for them has been like behind the scenes as they have been trying to resolve the service delivery crisis in this specific area.
Karinda, Jagmohan, thank you very much for that update.